Hi, folks. Now it will be a short talk about one very particular subject. I just will answer the question of one of my listeners who want to make a good medieval tavern music. So he asked me how to make a good medieval tavern music or tavern song or dance, kind of a game music, I guess. So, and the question was what kind of scales, chords, progressions one should use to make it. Well, I will share my method of doing these things, and my method would not start from these points at all. No scales, no progressions. I will start from completely different point. I will try to immerse myself in listening of music of medieval and Renaissance period, and also the folk music of this period is possible, and the folk music of different cultures, and in particular of the cultures where I can imagine the tavern which I going to describe or reflect in my music. So maybe Celtic, for example. So second, I will play all and any music of this period I can find, and for this certainly I have to learn how to play scores because I have to play music scores. You know, like the way to approach it by playing from tabs would not be sufficiently enough. It's kind of a long way, and it's good for to be precise and to learn something by heart, but it wouldn't be, from my point of view, as good if you want to become familiar with as much music as possible. And that's, from my point of view, for myself, it will be most important in this thing. And the third thing I will do, I will read and listen music historians. I will listen or read about music culture and instruments of medieval time or Renaissance time, and I will also try to see as much medieval art, medieval architecture, painting, sculpture, everything of cultural and artistic aspects from that period I can find. So I would read medieval poets and visit medieval castles. By the way, even if you live in a country like far from these castles, now you can visit them. There is internet. You can visit them on internet. It's not the same experience, but it's still a good one. So when I can study medieval history, this way I can learn about historical events, what's happened, different cultural aspects, what was important for the people of that time. I will try to understand and feel the atmosphere of a medieval tavern. So I want to hear authentic instruments. I want to smell and try the food they eat. I want to see the faces of the people there, and I could on some medieval paintings. I want to try to find out what was important in their lives, so when I will read some medieval poetry or some medieval prose or something else, I can find out. I will try also to get familiar with medieval philosophers and theologians with their worldviews. So when I will see how we feel about their life and everything around them. So what is my method? So what I will do? No progressions, no scales, no chords. All these things I will do. And I know that my own music will come out by itself after all these things. I will never force it, and I will not plan or calculate it, not prepare it. It will just come as reflections of all these things. It will come naturally, inspired by something in particular. Maybe I will be inspired by the visit of the beautiful ruins, or by by watching some kind of medieval paintings. I don't know. It's very different things, but that's how I will do it. It's just a longer kind of a longer process. I would say it's when just playing few chords and so on. But chords certainly necessary. Yes, chords necessary, and music education is very necessary, because otherwise one could not read those scores. So it will take few years, and it will come by itself. So thank you very much for listening. See you next time.